So the last 2 points here is about the F string assignments and F strings. So these are very interesting things. Compared to what we have learned till now, it will change your entire perspective now. These F strings were introduced late in Python 3.6 onwards. So someone says like they mimicked from Rust, learned and adapted here. So if you see ordinary types and this, if you observe the reference, you'll understand. Old style is like this. New style is like this. Whereas F string means instead of again doing a format, you write an F before it. So what it makes difference, sir, for it? Let's see. To understand, so let's take one example. So till now, if I write like hello world, so what we need to do? Print hello percentiles. Yes, I need to do a percentile, and I should write like say Python. So this is a string we have. Now the same thing, if I need to represent using new style formatting, what I need to do? I need not worry of the data type. So I can do like a dot format of, you give the answer. It will take it and it will print it. Clear and Python else also. You got both the answers, right? Fine. Now, if I go for the new style formatting, so we need to write in F before it instead of at the after. So you should write in a slightly different way. Means this variable should be defined first somewhere. Maybe like, so language is equal to Python, and you need to write that variable here. Means instead of writing this dot format, you should first define that variable and use it. Like that we get it. F string expect you to create the variable first. So what if I create something like a language 1? Will it print? No. Means whatever you define outside makes some sense. So that variable should be defined. So, and we should ensure. Okay, this one we understood. Sir, the same F string I take, but instead of that, I write like hello one world. So language, does it work? Yes. Only the content within these flower braces should be defined outside when you write an F string. So let me take one more example. If I define something like this, I take a number, the number is defined inside. I am using the same variable in both sides, but still you can see that it is different. So that is what it works like a name is something. In the same fashion, it is not just like getting the variables which are defined outside, but we can do some more operations also. If you observe, so here, did you see that it is trying to use the name called as name? Did I define this variable called name outside? No, it threw an error. Means this variable called name is expected. Say like if you define this variable called as name is equal to say Python now. Now did you see for this variable instead of just printing, it is doing an uppercase. So till now what happens? We need to define a variable and just do. Means what are manipulations you do outside and give the result. But you take a variable and you can do different operations. If you observe in this case, if I do like hello Python, it works. Then hello capital, you can do dot upper, dot title. This variable is of type string, so you can do any string operations. Similarly, if I take like an integer, so this is a number. I defined a number which is a float. I'm converting to an integer and printing. But after that, if I print the same number, so the number will be as it is. If I print it the same thing, So it will not change the original object if you observe. So if you see here, number you are converting to an integer. But after that, if you are printing the same number without a conversion, did you see you got the original number? Means the changes will be there only temporary, will not reflect back. In the same fashion, whatever the things you are seeing in a F strings, so new style formatting, everything will be there. Means after colon, you give all the kinds of formatting, right? Comma you give, you get underscore, you give, you get like that. All features will be there. Similarly, in terms of left, right, center alignments, everything it will work. So you do the value. So in this case, see here, I didn't define the variable outside. I defining the variable inside. So like this directly I did. But instead I can rely on a variable outside on and do also as I wish. So if you see here, so left, right, center, and so and so based on the arrow. And if you want a fill character, place before it. So this logic is same across all things. And not only that, we can do like so representations. So percentile D means decimal, percentile B means binary, octal, hexadecimal, like this. We can do all representations also. Not only that, we can convert to the floating point values. And generally I told, right, there are two types of floating point values, percentile F or percentile Z. So whereas percentile F and others, in percentile F, you can specify how many digits you want, post decimal, how much you want. So I want like total 9 digits, but post decimal, I want only 3 digits. I can do like this. And similarly, I can do like different kinds of quoted strings and others. I can specify. Means like I can have like a single quotes, double quotes, all these things, quoted strings. And also I can have operations. Means 2 braces means what? You will get the same content as it is. But if I get 3 braces, so the braces also you'll get, the content also. So next, when you're going for something called as Django or Flask, you will learn about MVT, Model Views Templates. There the concept called as Jinja templating will come. So there you will use them a lot in that particular exactly. But like this, we can do different kinds of operations. I'm adding like more examples. You can walk through it afterwards. If I have like a date, if I want to represent, there is one module called as date time. We can read it and we can convert to a corresponding formats. So when you are working with the date times, I will tell about this formatting more. Similarly, if you have any string, you can do like, see, this is like converting a thing. So till now you did colon. For the first time, you're doing exclamation. Exclamation is also an operator. If you want to convert everything to a string or everything to a raw presentation, everything to an ASCII, so these are the things we can use. So this is all the different kinds of string operations and string formattings. And the next thing is like F string assignments. This is kind of like a recent invention. So 3.8 onwards. So this is came. What is this F string assignment does means same like F strings only, but this is designed for a specific purpose. Generally, till now, what we do whenever we have any variable, when you are printing, say like I have a variable called as a language is equal to say Python. Then if I print like a print language, if I print, then what will happen? Clear and Python m so and so. So if I print it 100 times also, it will say Python. But what is this Python? You need to get some context, right? To better understand it, what you do generally in real time, you write like a language and you say like language. When you print like this, now we understood that, okay, language is Python. It is better clear, right? Now the same representation you can do in a different ways. So instead of directly printing, you can give like say equal or like equal to percentile yes, and you give a old style, or like equal to flower braces and you give like a new style, or In the f strings, what we can do? Instead of doing the same thing twice, within the flower braces you define. But this variable should be defined first. It's defined. So then in all these cases, you get your answer. In all these cases, you got your answer, right? So these are the different things. Now, what is this concept of f-string assignments means? Whenever you are displaying the same variable in the output also, along with the result, in those cases only we can go like this. Means it's same like an f-string, but within the brace you write a equal to. Then you get the output, which is exactly same. And it is like a raw representation. In fact, it is saying that it is a string, so it is adding these braces. Similarly, if I have a number, okay, if I have a number is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can print like number equal to like this or f string assignment. Sir, can I do something like this? Number is equal to no. So this we cannot do because this variable should be defined somewhere, right? Same concept of f string only, but it's kind of like an extension to the f strings. F string assignments need or can't be used in all the cases, only in specific cases. Means if you see in this example, you want to display something like this, say, so print language : Python. So this is your output. So can I replace this with a f string assignment? No. If I do the same thing with an f string assignment, say like if I place f and if I root a place and within it, I'm writing the another code and I'm writing like this. If I write equal to, so now did you understand? It is working. But if I write instead of equal to, if I write like a colon, will it work? It will think it like a f string only, f string. So nothing else. So if I say like, what if I write like hyphen here? So it will not even treat like an f string. So it will throw an error. Means only this is possible. F string assignment works only with the equal to. If you want any other character to be displayed, then it is not a suitable thing. Hope it's clear. Similarly, if you want some operations to be done, so mainly it will be advantage when you're debugging certain things. Say for a number, I want to get the multiply, equal to, and all these operations. If I need to do the same thing traditionally, I need to write a big logic, right? Colon, equal to, again, place, comma, like that. But it became more easy for me. So this is a point of f strings. Now, the last point about this is about the Unicode characters. We already learned briefly about Unicode characters, but to tell more about these Unicodes, we have some operations. Generally, you need to understand when you're asking the concept of encoding. See, encoding is different from encryption, right? Observe, many people will think both are same. Encoding means like whether you want to store the data or you want to transfer that. We need to do in a proper way because the computer should understand what you are entering. On a keyboard, when you're typing a key, how will a keyboard know that you are entering a character P or a O or something? So it should uniquely recognize it, right? What if in my keyboard it is something and in your keyboard it is something else? I will think I am passing like P, but you are getting some M. It would be a lot of confusion, right? There can be different manufacturers and everyone should adhere to the same thing. That's why they created like a common code. For each character, one code like that. That is called as an ASCII code first. American Standard Code for Information Interchange. For communicating between different things, they came up with this one. So the point is like, so you can go with this and work for like basic data types. Basic numbers like all on English keyboard or beyond also you can go. If you go to this website, you can see that. So you can see the different languages are there, right? So the basic English keyboard characters are all ASCII characters, and beyond English keyboard, all language characters are different kinds of things. See here. So different languages are there. I don't even know which language they were, but many languages are there. You can go to this detail like each of the language to learn more about each of the characters. And if you want, you can add your characters also. So that is a possibility. Now, to work with these characters, one thing you need to understand is every character has a unique number. So either you give a number and get the character, or you give a character and get the number. For doing that, we have two built-in functions called as CHR and ORD. So CHR and ORD are two more built-in functions. Among the 69 built-in functions, I think I'm telling every day one or two. So what is this doing? So using f-string assignments I'm doing, see here. As I'm storing entire string in double quotes, I'm placing this in single quotes. Because in Python, it doesn't matter single or double quotes. So when I did ORD, means the order, means for this character, what is the order of the number associated? That code, you got it. Similarly, so if I go for like ORD of something else, I will get the same corresponding values. If you see in this case, for the same alphabets, in a lowercase I'm going. Did you see for uppercase, I got like 65 to 90? And for the lowercase, 97 onwards. Sir, what about the remaining characters? There are many other characters. Not everything is alphabet, right, on your keyboard. So there are different symbols are there. So not everything can be visualized also on a keyboard. So on a display. Similarly, if you go for the numbers and others also, we have some specific orders. You may think like a number, integer, 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are also numbers. But they were not represented like 1, 2, 3, 4. They have some number specifically. 1 is represented with 49. So it's an ASCII code, 49. So like the dollar is represented with 36. And for a particular character, till now what you're doing? You're giving a character and getting the corresponding ASCII code. But what if you give a ASCII code to get the character? So for that, we need to use the CHR. So in this case, I showed both the things vice versa. When I give a character for the ORD, I got the ASCII code. But for the CHR, means you're asking a character. For that, you need to give the ASCII code and you get the corresponding position. So hope it's clear now. Python and so and so. You got everything's like that. Now, sir, what if I give like a 2 characters? So can I get that answer? Till now we are giving individual characters, right? So now can I give 2 characters and ask the ORD? No. So each character is recognized individually. You cannot recognize a word together, right? So then it will throw an error because it expects only one value. If you give beyond that, it cannot expect. Now you understood the limitation. Going further. So if I go for like CHR, in CHR, you understood for this particular thing, right? Now let's go in detail onto the CHR. You give any number and you get the character at that position. For 0th position, you got some hexadecimal value. I told you on the keyboard, you have multiple characters. If you take the example of a say escape key or an insert key or a home key or an end key, do you think we can visualize them? No. So that's the reason those will be represented with hexadecimal. For human eye, you don't see that. Means not every character is for visibility. Some are for purpose to feel, right? So their actions will be felt, like an enter key is there. All these things are there. So like that. If I give 127, I am getting something else. Sir, can I go beyond these numbers? Yes, pretty much you can go. When you are going beyond these numbers also, we can go in a different ways. Means, instead of giving in a decimal format, you can give like a numbers directly. See, beyond 127, ASCII characters are 7-digit characters. 7 digit means 2 to the power of 7, which is 128. So 0 to 127 you have, those are ASCII. Beyond 127, everything is a Unicode. So if I do like 129, it is another Unicode. But not everything is for visualization, as I told you. Every language also may have certain things. So fine. And so there are some special symbols for like rupee symbol, euro symbol, like that. And if you see, it's a neol. These are like apostrophes, you can say, right? So it's like phonetics, I would say. Yeah, phonetics for everything we have. And not only that, we can give like a hexadecimal representation also. Or you can give a numbers also, but there is a limit to what you give. Means if I give like a direct characters, instead of 123, 124, I give something very big, I got a value. See, it is saying like Unicode value, percentile U followed by this. And this is like a hexadecimal representation, as it is a very big number. But if you give the same digit, you got the corresponding ASCII code. That's to show. In Python, if you want to know all the list of characters from the starting, so there is something called as for loop we can write. For I in range of, in Python, it's a very simple way to write a for loop. If you want to get the values from 0 through 128, 7, I told, anytime when you do a boundary, it will go till the last value, but doesn't include the last value. As I want till 127, I'm adding 128. Till 128, I can use this concept of print. If I do like print I, did you see every time getting the number? Now, interesting thing is, I have a number, I can get its position character, right? So then I can use CHR or ORD, CHR. If I give CHR, now I will get each character. At that character, what is the character? If you see the first characters, from 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4 onwards, you cannot see. You see, for others, you are able to see. Maybe see for 10, it is giving one more extra line, means slash n, slash t. Yeah. So slash n, slash r, all these things operators are there. So you can see that you cannot visualize them. But subsequently, you are able to see, right? This is like, 2 was replaced, means it's like a slash r. But for some from 33 onwards, you are able to see that. As I told, you cannot see all of that. So this is how it works from 48 onwards. Then hyphen, semicolon, alphabets, and all these things. Sir, is it that we cannot have values beyond that? Yes, pretty much we can have. I will give like one more limit like this. Instead of 0 to 128, I give 3000 to 3500. Now you tell me something. Did you see some characters which are like Malayalam? So, Tamil, and you can see Telugu also will come. So like the different languages will be there. You see, Telugu is there. All languages you can see. Certain times if the if the terminal is not supporting these Unicodes, so you cannot visualize all characters, but most of the time we can see. But how many things like this we can give? There is a concept called as sys module, has something called as max Unicode in code. Means every time in the world, a new language will be added, right? So when a new language is added, for that Unicode will be created. So when they will have that limit called like this. In Python, at this moment, the maximum code is this one. Means till here, we can get the values. Beyond that, if I ask for any value, it will throw an error. So it means like in real world, we don't use all the languages, but so they gave this much limit as of now. Beyond that, if I ask CHR of +1, then it will throw an error. So this is what you need to know about CHR and ORD. Okay. So next, going further, apart from this Unicode, so the next thing that we want to touch base is on the byte strings, byte array strings, which are very seldom used. I will quickly touch base, but I will show that. So very seldom use this one, byte strings or byte array strings. What is a byte array string? Till now, let's say you have an ordinary string, right? So till now you have a string. I define a string. I printing it. I'm asking the type. Very simple string I have. Python P so and so. You got the answer? It's fine. So you got an ordinary string, you are printing it, fine. But so for an ordinary string, what all operations we have? Till now we used a lot of things like indexing. So slicing, you have seen, and you are doing a find. You give a character or a position, you get the corresponding values. All things are there like an ordinary character. But sir, for an ordinary string, is a string immutable or immutable? Now we are understanding a new word called as mutability or immutability. Immutable means like we cannot change it. Means if let's say today will be hours, I want to change this will be to hours. So will be means this positions will be. I want to change to is. A string we cannot change in place. Sir, you may ask, sir, still now we are doing like dot upper, dot lower, all these things, right? Why can't we do this one? Means when you're doing those operations, you are creating a new object. You are not making in place changes. Means the original object is not changing. But if you can do like this, means I am doing like ordinary of till this position and I'm adding is and remaining positions. So this is one way of weird way of doing. So tomorrow is ours. But the point is like it is creating a new object. It is not referring to the same object. So this is called as immutability. So that's why strings are immutable. Whereas if you define like a same thing with a byte array string, byte array string means you define the same string, but did you see you are passing to a built-in function called as byte array? And you are passing like a coding, encoding. So do you have like any other non-English character? No. That's why I gave ASCII. Then it will create like a byte array string. It is same like an ordinary string. We can ask the type, it is byte array string. You can ask a slice. So you can ask like, so everything. So you can do like indexing, slicing, everything you can do. On top of it, did you see that you are able to replace? So mutable object can replace in place changes in place. Did you see that on the same string we are able to do? Here on an ordinary string we are not able to do. So whenever you want like a mutable string, you can go with this example. If you, that's why many people seldom will go, but if you really need, you can go. But what exactly it is doing, sir, in the backend? Means like it is taking and creating like a list of characters. Their ASCII codes it is taking and storing. That's fine. Now a small assignment for you. So hope everyone is active. You know there is something called a Caesar cipher. Caesar cipher means like we need to take a value and replace the characters with the next position. So generator, if you take any example, you can go to the Google, you can find it. If I do something like Apple, so like if I do like a shift as 3, if I do like a shift as 3, so if I do again with PPLE, so Apple will be replaced by this character. Means every character will be replaced by its next third character. If you see here, A will be replaced by D. So generally alphabets will be A, B, C, D, V, right? So they will be replaced like this. If I say like A, B, C, D, E. Did you see what happened? A is replaced by D, B is replaced by E. Means everything by the next third. What if I write like, so X, Y, Z. X is replaced by A, so Y is replaced by B, and Z is replaced by C. Means it's like a round, right? It's like a rotation. Now you need to write an example like that. I am replacing a egg. So E is replaced by next third character means what? H. So G means replaced by next third character is J. So like that egg became J. So you take a string in runtime and try to replace by doing. So you can convert everything to a lowercase to make it easy for you. Lowercase or uppercase, either one thing you can go. You can use like ORD, CHR, and for rotation, you can use modulo operator. So totally there are 26 characters, right, in English. We can use like that. Give a try, you can do that. Similarly, the bytearray strings, you understood what all bytearray strings are there. But generally, I seldom used bytearray string in my entire career. But it's up to you. You can learn it. But one thing we need to learn is about the byte strings. So most of the time, when you're getting something from the IO stream or other things, mostly it will be a byte strings, byte date, byte string. So same like an ordinary strings, byte strings. So, but it will be in the byte objects. The difference between a byte array and a byte string is that, so if you take the example, you will understand. So byte array string is designed for like mutability, means you can change anything in the middle and we can work. So observe the difference. If I define something like a byte array string, same thing, UTF-8 if I give, you got the answer. Whereas if you define bytes, you get the same thing. But instead of a byte array string, it is saying like bytes. Means within the byte array string also it is defined like a byte string only. So mostly in the world, wherever you go, so read from anything, it's byte string only. So the difference between an ordinary string and a byte string is that you think like, so ordinary string for like humans, you give it. But whenever you're getting anything from systems, it is mostly like a bytes. It's like a byte string. So the same string will have some kind of encoding also. But the point is like, whenever you are reading from like a buffer or like from a, someone is getting from a REST service or anything, it will be mostly bytes. So for bytes, same like a string, all attributes will be there, all operations we can do. So we can do like a, but if you want to do all in a basic way, you can convert to your own data type. So this is one thing you need to be very, very much interesting. If you have a byte string, you need to represent with a B. So if I do like a clear screen, and if I say like IPython, you can see like, say hello, if I say string, but if I write B before it, it becomes a byte string. So, F we know till now, it becomes like an F string, right? Formatting. So there can be F and B together also. But sorry, BF. So it is saying like you placed an F, but there is nothing like there to get, right? So that's why it is not taking. So fine. So the point is like, so byte string, if you want to convert to an ordinary string, you need to use dot decode. From byte string, if you want to convert to your ordinary string, you need to use dot decode. But if you have a byte string, so ordinary string, if you want to convert to byte string, so you can do like this. Means byte string to ordinary string can be done either using dot decode or like string built-in function. But if you have an ordinary function, if you want to convert to a byte string, we can use the bytes built-in function. If you have an ordinary string. So that's a difference between bytes is a built-in function, str is a built-in function, and doing. So if you want to work purely with byte strings, you can do all bytes operations only. Say if I define like name is equal to say Python. Say Python. If I say like name dot replace of say n, if I want to replace with say m, I want to replace with n with m. Now we got instead of Python, Python, right? If I define like, name is equal to same Python I define, but with a B in the starting. So like that also I can define, or like using the bytes function also I can define. Then what happens? If I ask name, it says byte. If I ask type of this name, it says I'm of type bytes. And for this name, If I try to do like a replace operation, it will throw in error. A byte slice object is needed. Means for a byte, if you want to replace, we need to pass these also like a bytes only, byte strings only. Means all things will be dot b bytes. As if you feel like this is difficult to work, convert that to byte string to an ordinary string, then you work. If I say it will convert that, no. So if I do like a string, you need to pass that. So you need to do decode. That is the best thing. If I have name, so I need to do dot decode of UTF-8. UTF-8. Sir, why only 8? There are different things like UTF-8, 16 and others. So 8 is the most common thing we use. So this is all about the byte strings. So we use whenever we are reading from the system. And the last thing, for working with strings, they created one more module called as like a strings module. String module means for most basic operations, they created a module. I told in Python, if you want to work with any module, we need to first load it. Loading is like this, importing. After loading, if you print like this module, so you can work. If I want to come out of this point, I can do exit, clear. And if I say clear and Python t so and so, did you see that it is saying, hey, module string is present in this location? Means the moment you install Python, these modules will be installed. Again, a module is also like a Python script. If you click on it, control click, it will open. Did you see this is again a Python module only, but never touch it. So you will have some operations. It is difficult to understand at this stage for you what to be done. For that, there is one more built-in function called as help and dir. Dir will give you the list of attributes. If I ask a list of attributes, it will give what all things we can do. But what exactly we can do, if you want to know, there is something called as help. Help is like a built-in function to get the help of it. So what is the module? What is the reference? Where it is present? And what are the attributes are there? And what all module functionalities you have? Everything we can see. If you want to see the list of all the things, there is another way called as str.__docs. But this docs will give only this document only. But if you ask help, it will give the entire thing. But if you want to know the list of all attributes, we can work like this. So all attributes means you got it. And when are you getting a help? It's like a continuous big help. Once you know what you want, you can do a queue, it will stop. And you can see that whenever you want all the alphabets, lowercase alphabets and others, this is a standard way. We can use